If you're thinking about creating online courses, it's important to know why and how. I'm going to tell you what I think you need to know on building online courses right now. Online learning and training has become an essential part of every business. Creating and selling online courses can also be quite profitable. The entire e-learning market is expected to exceed $300 billion by 2025, and that includes both individuals and corporations spending more and more into online learning. So there's never been a better time to join the growing industry of online course creation than right now. Having said that, in case you thought you're ready to create your own online course, here are just a few things to consider in your planning stages. Are online courses the right type of online business for you? How can you choose the right course topic? How can you create a profitable course? And how will you sell it after you've created it? One question I'm asked a lot is, how hard is it to actually create an online course? Well, creating an online course isn't that hard as it seems, but it can be very time consuming. If you want to create a profitable online course, the most important thing is to get acquainted with your audience. Learn what their interests are and come up with the best course idea for them. Depending on the type of course you're selling, you may have to do more research. As an example, if you're selling B2B training, it's a good idea to connect with your existing touch points and understand their needs directly. No matter the case, if people see that you're solving a significant problem for them and that they'll learn new skills, they'll want to buy your course. A successful course always does the following. It either solves a problem for others, it teaches them something new, and it helps achieve a goal. Your experience can provide valuable information to younger professionals. Once you've narrowed down the problems your audience needs to have solved, how can you solve them and help solve their problem? It's time for you to begin to lay out your course. This brings us to the outlining stage. Now, this is probably the trickiest part of creating an online course, especially if you've never had teaching experience before. Not everyone naturally makes a good teacher. You definitely don't want to do this on the fly and try to make things up as you go along. This isn't one of those just gotta stay one lesson ahead of the student moments. If people are paying to learn from you, you need to step up your game. People can hunt down information on their own on the internet. What they're paying you for is your ability to guide them through their transformation process. In the outlining stage, what you need to do is get the bare bones of your course down. You can develop it further once you've begun the actual creation process. Break down your information into sections or modules. The completion of a module means that your student has successfully learned a new skill or aspect of your particular topic. It's important that you keep your expectations reasonable so you make sure they constantly feel like they're succeeding in their course. Once you have your course outlined, it's time to start creating the content itself. Now, to me, this is the fun part. You'll have to come up with a plan for what type of content you'll need to create for your course. How much video will you include? What types of digital documents will you have to create? Are there a lot of graphical elements to your course? All of this can be laid out in the planning stages. However, you won't really know what you need until you start physically creating the content for your course. One thing that most instructors forget when creating an awesome online course is that the online learning is almost entirely self-sufficient. It isn't like school where you have a teacher or a parent constantly telling you to do your work. The key is to make sure your student stays motivated throughout the entire experience of your online course. Now, one of the best ways to do that is to make sure that your students are achieving actual results. Now, it doesn't even matter if they're small, as long as your students can definitely look back and see some tangible results from your lesson. You constantly have to find ways for your students to immediately apply their knowledge and feel involved. One of the best ways I've found to do this is with a great course structure. What do you want them to achieve in a natural progression where they go from beginner to proficient to expert? I like to break my courses up into modules and then down into individual lessons. These don't have to be super long lessons that go on for hours at a time. In fact, I think the shorter, the better. Each lesson I have in my own modules is around 3 to 4 minutes, with the longest being around 10 minutes. This is why you need to know the transformation in and out, because you're creating modules based upon the different stages your students will experience in your course. One thing you need to understand about building an online course is that it's rare that you'll ever actually complete it. There's always something new to add and new to teach, especially if you're teaching about a platform that you don't have control over. As an example, social media. So what you have to do is make sure that you keep on top of it and updating it accordingly. One of the easiest ways you can become obsolete is that what you're teaching is no longer relevant. To learn even more about social media marketing, video, and product reviews, make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.